a friend of mine and I were talking this week about us. We both had situations that where we got into uncomfortable conversations with people who we felt we are close with, and it kind of like took us aback, like, oh, that person perceives me so differently than I thought I was presenting myself. And all of a sudden, then you start doubting yourself. Now, this is just one of those situations, but doubt can creep in so many different ways. And when we get into doubt, then we just start questioning everything about us, and we start churning it up and processing it and churning it and processing it. And in the past, what would happen to me is I'd end up with stomach aches, sleepless nights, just thinking something was wrong with me, and just questioning everything about myself. So I don't know if you've had that experience, but if you've had, then having tools to kind of move on are so important. And so, one of the tools to move on is a forgiveness practice. And a forgiveness practice is not only to forgive others who may have misperceived you, but it's to forgive yourself if you did miss the mark or make a mistake, and just be able to move on. So get into any comfortable seated position. It does not have to be cross-legged. In fact, you could be sitting on a chair, wherever you're comfortable. And we're going to start with a forgiveness practice that was taught to me in a course that I took with Tara Brock and Jack Kornfield, and they're just experts in mindfulness. Okay, so here's the thing. Without forgiveness, you are chained to your past, right? You're chained to either being angry at somebody, blaming somebody, shaming, or even feeling badly about yourself. And then our hearts get more armored and stuck. So, first of all, a couple of understandings. When you're doing forgiveness, that doesn't mean you're condoning either something somebody did to you or you did to them. So that's step one. That does not mean that. It just means you're releasing it. Number two, it does not happen easily. It is a practice, and you're going to have to be very patient with it. So you could just say, I forgive you, but not really feel forgiveness. Or I forgive myself and not really feel forgiveness. So you've got to be patient with this practice. It's not going to happen overnight. So it takes its own time. So, but what it does is, again, it just releases this weight on your heart, this chain or armoring, and lets you move on. So if you're feeling comfortable to do so, allow your eyes to close and your breath to be natural and easy. And see if you can start breathing gently into your heart center. Maybe even noticing any barriers that you have created if you've not forgiven someone or even yourself. Maybe even sensing the pain of what keeping our heart closed does to us. Now set an intention to see if you can let go. Open up the heart anew and begin the forgiveness practice. So this will be 3 steps. First step, we'll bring to mind someone who we might have harmed, knowingly or unknowingly. And as you picture and remember them, allow yourself to gently see and feel any pain you've caused. But be gentle here. And you could even mentally whisper his or her name. So I'm going to repeat the words, and you can repeat them in your mind. In the ways that I have hurt or harmed you, out of my pain, or fear, out of my anger or hurt and confusion, I ask your forgiveness. Please forgive me. I ask your forgiveness. Please forgive me. I ask your forgiveness. Please forgive me. So be gentle and friendly with yourself as you witness whatever comes up. So step 2, it's important to forgive yourself for any ways you might have harmed or caused harm to yourself. So take a moment or two to reflect on any ways you may have harmed yourself out of your own pain, out of your own fear or hurt, and bring the kindness of a grandmother or a grandfather. If it helps, you can place your hand gently on your heart. Just as I've caused suffering to someone else, I've caused suffering to myself. In the ways that I've caused harm out of fear and confusion, anger, pain, and hurt, in this moment, I offer myself forgiveness. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. And you might even whisper, forgiven, forgiven. And lastly, there are many ways in which we have been harmed by others, possibly betrayed, abandoned, maybe even abused. In the gentlest way possible, let yourself remember and picture a person who you are feeling unforgiving toward. You can allow yourself to feel the pain as long as it's not too harmful to you. Sense your vulnerability. Now, as you are ready, bring your attention to the one who's caused you harm and see if you can sense how maybe their behavior was driven from fear, hurt, confusion, unmet needs, anger, or pain. And as you remember this, begin reciting simply, in the ways that you have hurt or harmed me, knowingly or unknowingly, out of pain and confusion, anger and hurt, to the extent that I'm ready, and that's important, just to the extent that you're ready, I offer you forgiveness. To the extent I'm ready, I release you. I forgive you. And if that forgiveness feels incomplete or you're not ready, you can say, it's my intention to forgive you. It's my intention to forgive you. You can't force it. It's a patient process, but just practicing this will help you release some of this, which can create doubt in ourselves. And that doubt then is like sticking a knife in our own heart after the knife has already been stuck in there.